Hello students, this is Dr. Prachi Mehta and I'm here to give you a session on the cooperative banking in India. This is chapter 2 and unit 2 in the course. Let us begin with what is basically the cooperative bank in India. So what is basically cooperative banks? So cooperative banks are those banks which are basically meant to provide social service to the society. They are not meant for earning profit, unlike your commercial banks, where commercial banks are basically meant to earn profit, whereas cooperative banks are not meant to earn profit. A cooperative bank is a financial entity which belongs to a members, and it is formed by members. Generally there are 10 or more than 10 members who are required to form a normal cooperative bank, and they serve their members of the cooperative bank. So you have to become a member of the cooperative bank to get the service of the cooperative bank and the facilities of the cooperative bank. Now, cooperative banks are often created by the person belonging to the same local or professional community or sharing a common interest. Now, cooperative banks generally provide their members with different types of facilities, provide them loans, provide them deposits like other banking services, and but the only difference is that these banks provide at a low rate of interest and also provide high rate of interest on the deposits. Now they are registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912 and they are governed by the Banking Regulation Act 1949 and Banking Laws Act 1965. If we see the structure of the cooperative bank, then the cooperative bank structure is a pyramid structure and also called as a three-tier structure, where in the bottom we will see the primary credit societies, which are basically of two types, which is called as PCS, which is primary credit societies in villages, and UB and NACS, which is urban banks and non-agriculture credit societies, which is in cities. Then in the middle level we have central cooperative bank, which is above primary cooperative bank. Then on the top we have state cooperative bank. Now this is a three-tier structure, where central cooperative bank, also called as the district cooperative bank, is a connecting link between state cooperative bank and a primary cooperative bank. Now state cooperative bank is a direct link with the Reserve Bank of India. Whenever primary credit societies require funds, these funds are provided by central cooperative bank or district cooperative bank. Central cooperative bank or district cooperative bank, if they require the funds, then that is provided by state cooperative bank. And if state cooperative bank is running short of funds, then that is provided by Reserve Bank of India directly. Whereas please remember that central cooperative bank and primary credit societies do not have the permission to directly get the funds from Reserve Bank of India, provided state cooperative bank have already funds. So if state cooperative bank do not have funds, then central cooperative bank is only permitted to get the funds from Reserve Bank of India. State cooperative bank is also called as the apex bank in the cooperative structure. Now coming to the features of the cooperative bank, generally cooperative banks are very small in size. They are managed by the cooperative sectors or cooperative societies. They are mostly dependent on government and Reserve Bank of India, as we have seen earlier that they are meant to provide social service to the people. They are not meant to earn profit, business. They are not commercialized. It receives support from the government as seen earlier. It is organized and managed on the principles of cooperation, as in it is not meant to earn profit and provide cooperation to the members. The focus is on social objectives, serving the society and not to earn profit. It has a democratic management, perform all the main banking functions which a normal commercial bank will perform, and it has a federal three-tier structure, as we have seen in the earlier slide, where the top is state cooperative bank, middle is the district cooperative bank, and the lower one is the primary credit society. Let us see the difference between the cooperative bank and commercial bank. So as we are told and as I have seen earlier, that cooperative bank and commercial banks are very much different from each other. Their structure is very different, their statutory bodies are very different, their working is very different, because cooperative bank is meant to serve the society, whereas commercial bank is meant to earn the profit. Let us see. So cooperative bank, only some sections of Banking Regulation Act, which is 1949, are applicable to cooperative banks, whereas all the sections of Banking Regulation Act 1949 are applicable to the commercial bank, because as we have seen earlier, cooperative banks has a different act, which is Cooperative Bank Act. So it is governed by that. Cooperative bank have a three-tier structure, having state cooperative bank at the top, DCB at the middle level, and PCS at the bottom level, whereas commercial banks do not have any kind of structure, as in this three-tier structure is not there. They are generally concentrating on rural credit and providing credit facilities to agriculture sector, whereas commercial banks are mainly concentrating on providing funds to trade and industry. In cooperative banks, the borrowers are usually the members. As I told you earlier, that you have to become a member to avail the facilities of the cooperative bank. This can be done basically by purchasing a nominal share, which is of a very nominal value, and even by paying the membership fees. Commercial bank, the borrowers can be anyone. It can be individuals, it can be institutions, it can be anyone. Cooperative banks are cooperative organizations, whereas commercial banks are joint stock banks. Thank you so much.